Hey guys, what's up? Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you're all well in the craziness that is the world today. Today we're going to be doing a review on the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. And this is what it looks like right here. I'm sure you guys have all seen it before. This is a higher end foundation, and I think especially today you want to get your money's worth out of whatever you're paying for. So I figured I would do a review on it because I've already used like over half of it, so I feel like I have a pretty good idea of how it works. And if that interests you, then just keep on watching. Alright guys, so I brought you guys in a little bit closer. Now I've already done my skincare and I've already got my primer on, and so we are ready to get straight into the foundation. Now this foundation retails for $49 for 1 fluid ounce. I have mine in the shade Yukon, and I feel like that is a pretty good match for me. So I'm going to use my It Cosmetics. It's like the foundation buffer brush. It's the flat top kabuki type brush, and this is what I use pretty much every day. So I'm just going to squirt a few pumps onto my hand. I usually use 5 pumps, and a little bit goes a long way with this foundation. And as you can tell, I've got some hormonal acne going on, so this will be a good test what it'll cover. But I've just dipped in once, and this will go like over half of my face, if that tells you anything. So 5 pumps sounds like a lot, but not a lot comes out of the pump, and what does goes a really long way. So I do feel like even though this is a pricier foundation, it at least will last longer than a cheaper one that you would have to use more of. Okay, so that is half of my face done. You can still see this spot, but it's not nearly as visible, and I really don't care if that shows through just a little bit. I would much rather have it look natural than it be caked on and super full coverage. But I do feel like this is pretty full coverage, and I don't even really use concealer hardly ever, and I feel like it covers decently under my under eyes. So I've still got this much left on my hand. I'm just going to do the other side of my face, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so this is one layer of the foundation, and I feel like it does, like I would go out looking like this. I think that it looks fine. We are going to try to build it up just so you guys can see what that looks like. So I'm just going to build it up in like a few little areas that I have. So I'm going to put one more pump, and you can see that's 1 pump there. And that's definitely more than enough to do what I'm trying to here. So I'm just gonna stamp on a little bit more, and this is always how I put on my foundation anyway, is in a stamping motion. So I'm gonna put a little bit under my eyes and a little bit on that bump that I have going on. And then a little bit on this cheek over here. I really don't have that much acne, it's more scarring more than anything. So even though my face might look red, a lot of it is just scars. It's not like active acne, which kind of is more sucky. Alright, and that is it. So I would say, you know, it still didn't build up to where you can't see that active acne, but it is really red right now. So I would say that this is like medium to medium high coverage. This definitely isn't full coverage. You can still see some spots through, but I really don't mind it. I like the finish of it. It's kind of a satin finish, so it doesn't look very matte. It doesn't make you look dry. It actually does have a radiant effect like the name implies. And Like I said, I've used this for a long time now, and it's like a 12 to 14 hour wear foundation, I would say. So it's definitely going to get you through a full work day, and you could not set this, or you could set it. I always set every single foundation that I ever wear. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll be right back so you can see what that looks like as well. The powder that I'm using right now is just a mini that I had. It's the Tarte Smooth Operator powder, and I do really like it. It's really, really, really finely milled, and a little bit goes a very long way. So I'm going to just put that on right now. Alright, so I've got another IT Cosmetics brush, and I don't know about you guys, but once I find a brush that I really, really like, it's kind of stuck with me forever. And these two IT Cosmetic brushes I highly, highly recommend. And during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty sale that's going on right now, I know that these are coming up one day, and they are both going to be on sale for half off. So I would, if you're looking for a good brush, I would recommend picking these up because they're really, really good. So this is, I think it's like the powder wand. It's the N225, the complexion powder brush. I don't know, it's the wand one though. So I'm just gonna dip a little bit of that into my powder, and then you know the Rimmel like Stay Matte powder, I just use that top, and I will kind of, you see it's going everywhere. That's like how fine this is milled. I'm just gonna get a little bit of that on here, and then some people just do their T-zone, but I am that full biatch, so I do my whole face. We'll do our forehead next, and then I don't know, I always have like a routine of how I do it. I do under my eyes next. And this really just will lock in any foundation that you have, really. You want to get a powder that's pretty finely milled though, because if not, it can make your makeup look cakey. So, I mean, there's tons of drugstore ones on the market now that work just as good as high-end. So, and that goes with everything at the drugstore actually. There's no real reason that you would need to get high-end anything these days. A few years ago, I wouldn't say that, but everything at the drugstore is really good now for the most part. So it's just knowing what brand to go to for what. Okay, so that is the foundation powdered, and to me, I think whenever you're doing your bronzer or your blush or your highlighter, it just makes everything go on a lot smoother to powder it. That way you make sure it doesn't stick to anything that could still be wet. But yeah, that is the coverage on this foundation. Now, let's talk about if this is worth it. Could you find something like this at the drugstore? Yes, you don't have to spend the $49 on the NARS brand. Now, the packaging is super, super luxe packaging, I would say. It's a glass bottle, you know, it's weighted. You've got like the matte black top, and you've got the pump, of course. One that I would say that is comparable to this is like the Rimmel 12 hour, I think it's called. It comes in like a bottle. It used to be just a pour out, and it's like one of the cheapest drugstore foundations that you can get. It's under $10, but I would say that it compares to this. I would also say the Revlon Longwear, that one is comparable to this. But in general, NARS products really have impressed me in general. Their powder products as well as just their complexion products. This is the first foundation from NARS that I have tried, and I will say I can tell a difference on the coverage, the amount of product that I have to use to get the same effect as I would from having to build up another product. So for me, you know, not so much recently, but you know, working every day. You want something that you can just put on fast and get out of the door, and you don't want to have to sit there and build and build and build. And for me, I think a product like this would be very good for someone. So yes, you can find something comparable in the drugstore, but if you are that type of person and this could benefit you and you have the extra money, then I would say, yeah, you could pick this up. I do like that it's a thinner consistency. I like that it lasts for a really long time because I'm not somebody that's constantly checking my makeup all day, so I want to put it on and then not have to worry about it anymore, and that is exactly what this does. So I know that a lot of people have kind of mixed reviews on this. People either love it or they hate it, I feel like. It's rated, I think, like 3.7 stars out of 5 on Sephora, but to me, I really like it, and I really don't have any negatives to say about it other than maybe the price, but it's NARS, so that is kind of expected. But yeah, if you want to treat yourself, I say go for it. It's worth it in my opinion. So I hope you guys liked this video. I hope that it gave you a little bit of an escape from the craziness that's going on today. If you did, give the video a thumbs up and hit subscribe if you would like to see more, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.